Here's your wrestling news for November 8th, 2025. Your headlines for today include Cody Rhodes left speechless after Zelina Vega's sudden slap on SmackDown. WWE officials made shocking last-minute creative call at gorilla position. Real reason behind Drew McIntyre's SmackDown suspension revealed. WWE star's controversial line leads to silent departure from the company. WWE accused of crossing moral boundaries, horrible details surface. Jade Cargill shocks fans by using her AEW catchphrase on WWE SmackDown. WWE NXT star makes surprise return on SmackDown to team with Nia Jax. WWE fans missed this during Ilja Dragunov's SmackDown title defense. WWE fans speculate on LA Knight's opponent in Cena's Last Time Is Now tournament, and more. After a brief recap of Saturday night's main event, Cody Rhodes kicked off SmackDown looking fired up and full of energy. The undisputed WWE champion made his way to the ring with a big smile, shaking hands with fans and even pausing to sign a young fan's poster at ringside, a small gesture that captured the connection he's built with the audience. Moments later, the mood shifted when Aleister Black appeared, marking the first time the two former AEW rivals had come face-to-face inside a WWE ring. Both men referenced their past battles and hinted that their unfinished business wasn't over yet. But before things could settle, Zelina Vega suddenly stepped up and delivered a shocking slap to Rhodes, stunning both him and the crowd. The moment escalated fast, prompting SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis to step in and make it official. Rhodes vs. Black would take place later in the night in the main event. According to PW Torch, the decision to have Vega slap Cody was made just minutes before he walked through the curtain. The call reportedly came from the gorilla position as a last-second creative tweak designed to inject more emotional intensity into the show's closing segment, a small change that paid off with big crowd reaction. When the main event arrived, Zelina Vega accompanied her husband to the ring, clearly still riding the momentum from her earlier altercation with Rhodes. Fans who remember their time in AEW knew the history between these two. Black still holds one more win over Rhodes from their previous encounters, including a decisive first match where he squashed Cody in under 5 minutes. With that history hanging over them, both men came in looking to prove a point. From the opening bell, there was no slow build. They went straight at each other, heavy strikes, quick counters, and a level of intensity that showed just how personal this fight had become. The chemistry was undeniable, but the ending turned chaotic. Just as Rhodes seemed to gain control, Drew McIntyre stormed the ring out of nowhere, blasting the referee with a Claymore kick. Cody immediately tackled him, but Black joined in to help McIntyre, turning the fight into a 2-on-1 assault. Seconds later, Damian Priest sprinted down to even the odds, trading blows with both men. The brawl forced Nick Aldis to come out and take control, announcing on the spot that McIntyre was suspended indefinitely for his interference. Outside the ring, McIntyre's sudden absence ties directly into his Hollywood commitments. The former WWE champion is currently attached to the Highlander reboot, playing Angus MacLeod, brother to the lead character played by Henry Cavill. The film, directed by John Wick's Chad Stahelski, also stars Russell Crowe and Dave Bautista. Although production on the Highlander reboot was originally scheduled to resume in early 2026 due to Henry Cavill's training injury, the studio has now temporarily restarted filming ahead of schedule, but only to shoot Drew McIntyre's portions of the movie. According to Collider, this limited production window was specifically arranged to accommodate McIntyre's WWE schedule and ensure his scenes could be completed without long-term disruption. Insiders close to the project indicate that if everything goes smoothly and his work wraps up earlier than planned, McIntyre may not miss a single episode of SmackDown at all. In short, while his on-screen suspension gives WWE storyline flexibility, it looks increasingly likely that the Scottish Warrior could return to television almost immediately, right as filming for his Hollywood debut wraps up. That leaves fans with one big question: now that McIntyre's been kayfabe suspended, how will WWE reintroduce him when he's back from Hollywood? Enjoying the video? A quick like goes a long way in helping us grow and deliver more wrestling news you care about. Jesse Ventura's run on Saturday night's main event appears to have come to an abrupt end, and reports suggest it may stem from one unscripted moment that didn't sit well with WWE higher-ups. The WWE Hall of Famer, who had been a recurring voice on Saturday night's main event throughout 2025, was noticeably missing from the November 1st episode. Fans picked up on the absence, especially since Ventura had become a nostalgic highlight of the show, bringing his trademark blend of humor and no-nonsense commentary. At first, it was believed that Ventura's absence was simply due to contract timing. He had reportedly signed a one-year deal to appear on Saturday night's main event, and many assumed that deal may have quietly expired with the previous episode, but new details are pointing to a different reason entirely, one that traces back to a live broadcast earlier this year. According to Brian Alvarez of F4W Online, Ventura's status with WWE is now in question following reported backlash from an incident that took place during a May 24th cage match between Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. During the match, Priest escaped through the door to claim victory, a standard rule in modern WWE, but Ventura didn't hold back his disdain for the finish. "How do you win it going out the door? I thought you had to go over the top. What kind of BS is that?" Ventura said live on air, clearly unimpressed. The blunt commentary reportedly caught WWE management off guard. Sources told F4W that officials viewed Ventura's line as burying the finish of one of the show's marquee matches, something WWE is notoriously protective about, especially during televised events. While no official statement has been made about his departure, Ventura's sudden absence and WWE's silence on his contract status have fueled speculation that the company may have quietly parted ways with the outspoken veteran. For longtime fans, it's a bittersweet situation. Ventura's sharp, tell-it-like-it-is style made him one of the most memorable voices in wrestling commentary history, but it's also that same honesty that may have cost him his comeback run. Do you think Jesse Ventura crossed the line with his comments, or was he just being the straight-shooting body that fans always loved? Should WWE bring him back, or is his time at the desk officially done? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Karrion Kross is opening up about one of the most disturbing creative experiences of his WWE run, revealing that someone within the company once instructed him to cut a highly offensive promo about Bray Wyatt after his passing. Speaking on Coach and Bro, Kross detailed how confusion and miscommunication behind the scenes often left talent unsure of who was really making creative calls. He explained that wrestlers are sometimes told a direction came from the top, only to find out later that it didn't, leaving them stuck between conflicting instructions. According to Kross, one of the worst moments came shortly after Bray Wyatt's death. Late on Saturday night, he received a text message containing a promo script about Bray, one that shocked him both personally and professionally. "One time I was given a promo about Bray, and this is after Wyndham had passed. It was a Saturday night, 10 p.m., just a text message, not even the proper format we were supposed to get. I read it and I was mortified. I was personally offended as his friend. The person who sent it said, 'They want you to say it exactly like this,' and I said, 'Who's they?' Deeply unsettled, Kross immediately went to WWE's lead writers to verify whether the promo had been approved. He said, 'I brought it to the lead writers immediately because it was disgusting to me. It was written poorly too. I asked, did this come from you guys? Was there a discussion? Because I've never been told recently to say something word for word like that.' And the writer said, 'That never came from us. We never saw that. And you don't have to listen to that person ever again.' The situation left Kross shaken, realizing how easily some creative miscommunication could spiral out of control in WWE's system. Someone, without any official authority, had tried to push a tasteless promo through as if it were approved by upper management. That was insane. My friend is no longer here, and there wasn't even a conversation about this. Someone just tried to push it through like it was official when it wasn't. Imagine me going on TV and saying that, and then his family hears it. So when people say everything goes through one person and everyone's on the same page, no, there are weird gaps sometimes. I'm sure they'd like it to be streamlined, but there are definitely gaps." Kross's story is a troubling glimpse into WWE's internal chaos, and in this case, the company clearly crossed a moral line. Even if the order didn't come from the top, the fact that anyone within WWE thought it was appropriate to script a segment mocking a recently deceased colleague is alarming. Fortunately, Kross trusted his instincts and refused to go through with the promo, sparing fans and Bray Wyatt's family from hearing something that never should have been written in the first place. Do you think WWE should investigate who sent that message to Karrion Kross? And should there be stricter oversight on what creative instructions talent receive? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. In a lighthearted backstage moment, R-Truth delivered a comical segment tonight with Nick Aldis hilariously handing over, quote, "my balls," as a way of asking to enter the John Cena Last Time Is Now tournament. Moments later, Aldis informed him that he didn't need to worry, R-Truth's name was already included in the tournament draw. Relieved, Truth jokingly took his balls back, leaving the crowd entertained as always. Following the exchange, Nick Aldis officially revealed the next two tournament matches set for next week's SmackDown. Jey Uso will face The Miz, while LA Knight is scheduled to take on a mystery opponent. The tease immediately sent fans into speculation mode as WWE intentionally kept the challenger's identity secret to build anticipation. The possibilities are wide open. It could be a returning star like Randy Orton, or NXT standouts such as Joe Hendry or Obafemi, or even an outside name like Jeff Hardy, Matt Cardona, or TNA champion Mike Santana. With the Last Time Is Now tournament already delivering surprises, next week's SmackDown could feature one of the most talked about reveals of the year. During this week's SmackDown, the WWE Women's Champion made her way to the ring to address the WWE Universe. She didn't need a long promo to make her point, just one signature line. Grabbing the mic, she declared, "I'm that," before dropping it with authority and heading back up the ramp. As Cargill was exiting, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss made their entrance for Flair's scheduled match against Nia Jax, setting up a tense moment that didn't go unnoticed. The two powerhouses, Cargill and Flair, locked eyes mid-ramp in a silent but electric stare-down. Cargill raised her championship high, sending a clear message. Flair looked ready to follow, but Bliss stopped her, reminding the Queen to focus on the match ahead. The moment immediately sparked speculation among fans. WWE has teased a potential program between Cargill and Flair before, and this latest encounter suggests they might finally be pulling the trigger. If that's the case, it raises another big question. Will WWE separate Bliss and Flair to make room for the long-anticipated singles feud between two of the most dominant women on the roster? Cargill's line, of course, was a callback to her AEW days. As the inaugural TBS champion, she held that title for over 500 days and built a stunning 60-0 undefeated streak before losing to current AEW Women's World Champion Chris Statlander. Her WWE Women's Championship marks her first singles title in WWE, and she's clearly making sure the world knows she hasn't lost her edge. Backstage, Cargill crossed paths with Chelsea Green, who was bragging about being the greatest champion once she reclaims her US title. She also made sure to remind everyone that she's still one half of the AAA Mixed Tag Team Champions along with Ethan Page. But as soon as Cargill arrived, Green and Alba Fire quickly backed off. That didn't set well with B-Fab, who muttered about Cargill's attitude just loud enough for the champ to hear. Without hesitation, Cargill fired back, challenging B-Fab to a match next week on SmackDown. Meanwhile, the Flair vs. Jax match began with the Queen controlling the early pace, but just as momentum swung her way, Lash Legend appeared from the crowd, attacking Alexa Bliss at ringside. The interference allowed Nia Jax to capitalize and hit her finisher for the victory. It now appears WWE has formed a new alliance between Jax and Legend, marking Legend's official main roster debut. The post-match segment confirmed it, with Jax explaining to Kathy Kelly backstage that Flair and Bliss told her to find a friend, and she already had one. Legend chimed in, saying that she and Jax were everything we say we are, and promised that tonight was just the beginning. As if that wasn't enough chaos, things got stranger later in the night when Asuka made a surprise appearance in the medical room, spraying her trademark green mist at Flair and Bliss, leaving both women reeling. With multiple storylines colliding, Cargill's rising dominance, Jax and Legend's new alliance, and Asuka's sudden return, it's clear SmackDown's women's division is about to explode with fresh rivalries. Could WWE finally be building toward Jade Cargill versus Charlotte Flair, or will the chaos delay that showdown a little longer? And if it does happen, does it mean the end of the Flair-Bliss pairing? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Tommaso Ciampa made his presence felt tonight, stepping up to answer Ilja Dragunov's open challenge for the United States Championship. However, Dragunov surprisingly refused Ciampa's challenge and instead nominated Johnny Gargano to take the spot. It raised questions about the very idea of an open challenge. If anyone can step up, why was Ciampa turned away? The match that followed saw Johnny Gargano face Ilja Dragunov for the US title, with Dragunov ultimately retaining in a solid bout that didn't get the crowd reaction it deserved. Despite two world-class performers in the ring, fans were noticeably quiet, even breaking into chants for Michael Cole, an unexpected and awkward moment. This was the first time these two have ever been in the same ring. They haven't even been in the same Battle Royal or multi-man match, so this was a rare treat to see two guys who have built such great reputations having their first encounter. While Dragunov's reign continues, the tension with Tommaso Ciampa is clearly building, and Tama Tonga's continued backstage confrontation suggests he's not far behind either. It's only a matter of time before both men step up for a shot at Dragunov's title. Where do you see this feud heading next? Will Tommaso Ciampa finally get his shot, or could Tama Tonga be the one to step up and dethrone Ilja Dragunov? In your opinion, who's the right opponent to truly test Dragunov's reign as United States Champion? The men's US title opened the show, but later in the night, it was the women who stole the spotlight as Giulia defended her United States Championship against the newly crowned AAA Mixed Tag Team Champion, Chelsea Green. With Ethan Page watching from the crowd to support his tag partner, the match began with Giulia in full control. The champion nearly sealed the win in the opening minute after landing a devastating knee strike to Green's face. However, the momentum shifted in an unexpected way when Alba Fire attacked Kiana James at ringside, creating a distraction that allowed Chelsea to roll up Giulia for a shocking upset victory. Though the match was short, the result stunned fans. Giulia lost her title, and Chelsea Green became a double champion, holding gold in both AAA and WWE. The win raises an interesting question. Was it the right move for WWE to have Giulia drop the title, or could this be the start of her push toward the Women's World Championship scene? Rey Fenix went one-on-one with Talla Tonga this week on SmackDown in a fast-paced and hard-hitting encounter. Before the match could begin, chaos erupted as Solo Sikoa and the rest of the MFTs made their way to the ring, only to be ambushed by the Motor City Machine Guns and Shinsuke Nakamura, who attacked the group to help even the odds for Fenix. The bout itself delivered exactly what fans expected, a classic clash of styles. Fenix relied on his speed and aerial offense to stay one step ahead, while Tonga used his size and power to dominate whenever he managed to catch the high flyer. Despite Fenix's resilience, Tonga picked up the victory with a massive chokeslam, much to the delight of Solo Sikoa. After the bell, the MFTs tried to continue their assault, but Sami Zayn stormed the ring with a steel chair to make the save. The confrontation hinted at something much larger, possibly leading to a War Games or Survivor Series style match. Adding to the intrigue, the Wyatt Six were once again teased this week. They appeared ready to strike before Eric Rowan intervened, saying the time isn't right. With Bo Dallas still absent for understandable reasons, WWE appears to be holding off on this feud for now. All signs point to the Blue brand building toward a major faction war, and tonight's SmackDown did an excellent job keeping these storylines simmering. That's a wrap on this week's SmackDown. How'd you like the show overall? Which segment stood out as the best of the night? Do you think WWE made the right call by having Giulia lose the title? And who, in your opinion, will be LA Knight's next opponent? Sound off in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts.